Ever burn the candle at both ends for your business? It's already dripping. Burn the candle at both ends is our idiom for today. Have you ever done that in your business or in your life? Of course, this is one of those idioms that's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and I've been familiar with it my entire life. I've actually performed and done what it means, much to my dismay on several occasions. But it's a French idiom that came into the English language in the late 1500s, so it's been with us for a really long time. It, of course, means and comes from if you were to burn a candle at both ends, it's going to burn down twice as fast as if you just light one end of the candle and let it burn down. Meaning, often we will overwork ourselves, or you might have done this, overworked yourself to the point of physical, mental, or physical and mental exhaustion, to the point where you just couldn't carry on. People work themselves to death, literally. Been there, done that. People work themselves to the point of exhaustion where they just have to go down and recover. I mean, you ever see anybody run a marathon? They definitely are working themselves to the point of exhaustion. If you've ever stayed up all night to cram for an exam or a test, or if you've stayed up all night for a project, normally it's because we had plenty of time to do the project, but we procrastinated and put it off to the very last minute, and then we had to work ourselves to the point of exhaustion to actually get it done and get it in on time. In corporate America, I had a boss that would have all of us department heads stay up all night and do these what-if proposals so that he could present them to his boss, which was also our boss's boss, as things that we might do as a company, right? And they were always at the last minute, and they were always things that would be huge projects that we would have to stay up all night to get done. And he would do that, about every other month, and we got burnt out and exhausted on it because most of us had families and our lives weren't set up that we could just pull an all-nighter at our job. It was something that we thought we left behind when we left college. So, working too many hours. Have you ever worked too many hours in your business? Maybe. Have you ever worked too many hours on your business? Now, there's a difference between working in your business and on your business. I've done both. I've worked too many hours in my business, and then I had to spend the rest of the too many hours working on my business, and that can lead to burnout and exhaustion. I remember for about 20 years I'm pretty old, so for about a 20-year period, 15 for sure, I got by on about 4 hours sleep a night, and 4 hours was a good night. And I look back on that now and I'm wondering, how on earth did I do that? Well, I did it up until the point that I was 50, and then I actually did have a sudden cardiac arrest. So I don't recommend that strategy. I don't recommend trying to juggle too many things. I don't recommend saying yes to everything and yes to things that you don't really personally want to say yes to, but you're saying yes to it because you feel like you should say yes to it. I actually, for a long time, had a 400 item running to-do list. There were 400 items on it. Somebody, some guru or something, or some coach taught me and told me, hey, dump everything you got to do and that's in your mind out of your head. Put it on a paper or in a notebook or in a spreadsheet. I actually had a spreadsheet back in my Excel spreadsheet days. I had an Excel spreadsheet with 400 items on it. And I would do 10, and guess what? I would add 10 more right back onto that list. So this was this, as I look back on it now, I kind of snicker because I'm like, how ridiculous is it to think that you have a 400 item to-do list, which means if it's on your to-do list, it should be a priority, right? Well, how do you get over all this? How do you make sure that you're not burning the candles at both ends to work on and in your business? Number one, know what your priorities are. Know what your vision is and what you're working toward. And based on that vision, what are the priorities that you need to set? Not only for your business, but for your personal life as well. And then, based on those priorities, commit to your core values and only to the things that are going to make you progress toward what it is that you want. Now, will we try things that don't work and we're not making progress if they don't work in our mind? Yeah, of course we will. But if we're making our decisions based on our core values, based on our priorities, based on the commitments that we're making to our, to the people that are important to us, to the areas of our life that are a priority, and if we're always moving toward making progress, it's easy to make those decisions. And it's easy to make sure that our health and our well-being and our energy is a priority, right? Because if we don't have our energy, none of the other things that are a priority on our list are going to matter because we're not going to be able to carry them out anyway. So that is my burn the candle at both ends discussion for today. I would love to know what you think of this idiom. Like I said, I've used and been involved in this idiom my entire life, and I suspect since it's been around so long, many of you have as well. Share in the comments below if you have a great story about burning the candle at both ends. It doesn't have to be a dropping dead story, because I don't really consider that a great story. That's a great example of what not to do, and I don't mind being an example or a warning. I like to be both. I prefer to be an example, but if I can't be an example, then I would like my experience to be a warning so that nobody else has to go through the silliness and the drama and trauma that I put myself through on certain occasions. That's it. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you apply it to your business right now? Take care.